22. Russia's goal by player number 25, Olga Shanayim. Now for player number 21 from France, Alice Livek. For player number 19, Senior Michaela. Both passes for player number 2, Wally Song. The halftime score is Russia.
So France throw off the second half, 7 goals adrift against 4 Russian players. We've got a double power play while those suspensions are being played out. There should be huge gaps. Oh, straight in the face of the keeper. Penalty. And the foul on Nyombla. And I think she's saying that should have been a 2-minute suspension, maybe. But poor old Sedoikina took that right in the face. The French player, though, impeded as she was trying to shoot. He said the defenders contributed to that, and the doctors want to come on, but being waved off, she says she's fine. Prouvancier. Ah, she's put it wide. And the French continue with this drought, and Sedoikina still looking a little bit out of sorts. The French individually marking the Russians with 2 spare players at the back. Still 20 seconds. The Russians are quick ones, but the French have 2 spare who can sit back and mop up if anything doesn't work at the front. Livek gives away the free throw. Dmitrieva says get 3 meters away. Foul by Iglon. Free throw, and counting the seconds down, Bobrovnikova comes on again, and Russia now just 1 short, and France drop back to a 5-1 defense. Passive play is being called now against the Russians as Marienikova is being marked, drops into the wing. 9 meters out, and it's all just going so wrong for France. Dmitrieva, though, cracking goal. And France with a double power play haven't scored. The Russians, though, short-handed by 1, blasted straight in. Dmitrieva's second goal plays for Lada. And Dmitrieva in the thick of it at the other end as she decks Canto. Into the wing, big angle, inside post this time, and Prouvancier makes amends for that penalty miss a little earlier. The right winger who plays for Dijon. Sedoikina, frustrated, just left the door open on the inside post. Bobrovnikova, they're back to full strength again now, Russia. They've weathered it really well. Tried to shoot next to the shoulder of the French keeper, just over it, didn't quite get there. It's a save by Leno, who started in goal for France in the second half, the more experienced of the two keepers. That's more like it. They've had almost no long-range shooting with any success anyway, and Nyombla gets one there. 85 kilometers an hour, brute frustration. France at least get into double digits. There was a point in the match when you wondered if they'd even manage that. Bobrovnikova, who's caused so many problems breaking through and winning those penalties. Elina, who's had a terrific championship, into the wing, closed angle, oh, straight in the face. And Leno is decked. Play on, says the referee, while the break is on for France. They score, and now they can get treatment for the goalkeeper, who's still looking very dazed. Dembele, the scorer. And they race on. Oh, she knew all about that one. 29-year-old keeper who plays in Macedonia for Vardar, hit in the face, ironically, by her club teammate in Macedonia, Cherno Ivanenko. But the coach over there is going to be on the phone to her saying, what on earth are you doing? We need the keeper for the rest of the season. There's the scorer of the last one, though, Siraba Dembele. 29-year-old who's now played over 200 internationals for France herself. Scoring a 200th international in the 5th match of the competition. Switchback. Elina, little handoff. Bliznova come out to help, but passive play is being called against them. Aiglon seems to have caught Bliznova a little high. She's saying it's in the face, and she did. Oh, beautiful. Nice long-range effort. Makayeva putting the block on, and Akopyan gets her first of the game. 30-year-old who plays for Lada. A double world champion with Russia in 2007 and 2009. Long range, looking for the line. It won't be given. She was inside the area. She doesn't quite know it yet, Camto, but it's a penalty. Impeded in the act of shooting. But they nearly had the winger run through the area, France. Cherno Ivanenko has been given a 2-minute suspension, meanwhile.
2-minute suspension for player number 25, Olga Cherninko.
Smile as she realises that won't count, and they still have to score the penalty. They've not had a great success rate at that so far. And Kalinina, not beaten yet from 7 metre, comes on to face Zadi. Finally, it's taken them 3 goes from the 7-metre line, but France beat Kalinina. France, a 4-2 exchange here against the Russians, are looking so much sharper in the second half. With the extra player, individual marking, they're pushing right up. No time to sit back. Dmitrieva. Oh, straight around, penalty. And I suspect that Nyombla may be in trouble, and she's brought Bliznova down. Second suspension of the game for the 29er. She races across and runs into Bliznova. Not much option there for the Korean referees, and so a problem now in Nyombla on her second. She like Makayeva, and so Leno, who saved 5 penalties in the competition from 22 shots, will face Vyakireva. Missed one in the game already, Vyakireva. Doesn't miss that one, though. And Leno didn't even move. Dropped it down next to the standing leg. 5 minutes played then in the second half. Russia leading 18-12. So Lacabert is back on again to play alongside Zadi. Fumbled by Zadi. She's managed to pick the loose ball up again. Courvoisier comes around. She goes in on the line. Both teams are short-handed at the moment. Zadi nearly breaking through. And France fighting so much better in the second half to try and close this gap, but they have left themselves with a mountain to climb. Lacabert jumps back the other way. That was nicely done. And Porte at least finds something, as do the French supporters, to cheer about here. Dummies it there and then cuts back inside Marienikova. So no line player for the moment. They'll push in if they need to from the wings. Elina. Soft goal. And not only that, it's going to be a 2-minute suspension as well. Second goal of the game for Elina. And I think that for the arm take there, Lévesque. And France will be double short-handed themselves now. Half-hearted low five from Aiglon as she comes to the bench. Just as they managed to find some solutions in attack, France are now going to be on the wrong end of a double power play in a few seconds. Free throw, Lacabert fouled on the way through. So will Russia bring to an end this 2-goal run by France against them? Or 2 wins, I should say. France trying to make it 3 from 3, but have very much looked second best here today against a Russian team who are back to their best, as we saw them in the group stages when they notably beat the European champions Norway on the opening day. And had another good win against Spain, 28-26. A lot of spin, and she can smile about that. That was a bit of class. Fouled in the act of shooting. Look at her hand run over the top. Drops it under Sedoikina. Curls back in beautifully. 3 from 6 for Lacabert, and France just 5 behind. Little handoff, cuts back inside again. Bobrovnikova, who's caused all those problems. Bobrovnikova, Makieva, straight through. The defense are so static, especially on this side, on the right side of the French defense. As you look at it from the goalkeeper's perspective, it's where most of the penalty decisions have come, driving through. Dmitrieva, they're going all the way. And the short-handed French defense struggling to hold the Russians. They're still short-handed for another 15 seconds. Free throw. Foul on Lacabert, who plays for Nice, and France finally back to full strength again as Camto goes in on the line. Good defending. Cherno Ivanenko on the far side. Lacabert tries to cut inside Bobrovnikova with no luck on this occasion. Well, when she wants to, Zadi's got a good shot. Beats Sedoikina. 83 kilometers an hour, that shot. Long range, stunning. Olga Akopyan with the second goal. Arrived in Denmark with 92 internationals to her name already. The double world champion, and that's going to be a 2-minute suspension. Dmitrieva, number 7. Oh, caught her high. Slap in the face on Nyombla, she went through. Probably clumsy more than anything else. She's frustrated. She seems fine, Nyombla, after that little slap. So now it's France who have the power play. And the bellowing of Yevgeny Trefilov, the Russian coach from the side. If he could be out there and play it himself, he would. He's calling almost every move. And a save by Tatiana Erokina, who's just replaced Sedoikina in goal. Erokina, who's been the second choice behind Sedoikina. 30% save rate in the competition, gets her hands to it. 3 keepers on the Russian bench. The other one, Kalinina, of course, who's come on for those 3 penalties. Save 2. Oh, lovely play. Nothing given. The French have the ball. A break is on. Bobrovnikova trying to catch up. That was nearly out, and Trefilov screaming at the Korean referees. He was in line with the side, and he thought that was over the line. The French play on, he's still remonstrating. It's not going to help. Nyombla scores. That's inside. Almost landed. So with the extra player, they're individually marking Bobrovnikova, relative newcomer to the team. Quick break is on. Oh, fantastic pass! Well, it's scored by Dembele, and dismissive flick of the air by Trefilov, but there's the steal. Beautifully done. Nyombla, and then that lovely pass. It needed to have pinpoint accuracy, and it did. And suddenly, they're just 4 goals adrift. Plenty of time remaining as well, and the Russians have slightly run out of steam here. Big gap down the middle, didn't need it in the end. Inside post. Scored by Vyakireva, her 4th goal of the game. Plays for Astra Kanochka, and it's a penalty. Completely different face of the French team in this second half as Bliznova fouls. Pushes Dembele in the act of shooting. Irokina, she's saved 3 in the tournament from 10 penalties. But Zadi scores her 2nd penalty of the game. 4th goal overall. Over the shoulder of the keeper. Listening to the coach's instructions of putting it close to their ears. Slowly but surely the gap is closing. Break is on. France looking like a completely changed team in this second half. Aiglon pushing the back, and Edwige is let off. Thought she just fumbled it there. She runs off to change. She's only being used in defence. Bobrovnikova, the player who gave that one away. Well, I think we needed this. The first half was just too much one-way traffic. Not great entertainment for the spectators, but whatever Alain Porte said to them at half-time has done the trick. And I think as much as anything else, it was all about have some pride, guys. I mean, it's embarrassing out there, and they have certainly responded. Alain Porte, not one to mince his words. So, Yekaterina Elina back in the centre. Bobrovnikova, who's been so impressive, opens up the wing, and a big gap as well. And Akopian goes through. Akopian, normally a left back, has been pressed into action on the left wing. Of course, Kuznetsova has been injured. That goes well wide. Relief for Erokina in goal. Shot efficiency improving for France at 56%, still decent for the Russians at 64%, as it has been much of the game. Little shift. Bobrovnikova comes around the outside. They're getting a bit stuck in the corner. They've got to pull out again. 2 on the line. That's a shame. Akopian gets a poor pass. Could have fed the ball into Elina, who's now waiting wide on the wing. Passive play being called. Good save by Leno. They've been few and far between. The French pick up the loose ball, but it's inside the area. And Sen gets the free throw. So, Leno making a 4th save of the game. 5 goals the lead for Russia. Bobrovnikova into the wing. This time they close the door. Bobrovnikova again, so industrious. Whistle's already gone, it's a free throw. And passive play still being called against the Russians. Quickly switches back. No way through there for Akopian. And surely now they've got to take a direct throw. Penalty. Well, it was a complete fluke, and it kind of sums up the luck of the French. The ball fumbled. It wasn't at all what she meant to do, but somehow It went over Zadi's shoulder and reaches the line player. Sen, completely fortuitous, and not only that, but it's a 2-minute suspension for Edwige. I mean, that really is bad luck because the Russians had no idea where the ball had gone, and that's her second suspension of the game. And then to boot it all, Yakireva scores her 5th goal of the game, 3rd penalty. And the 6-goal lead restored for Russia, and a power play as well. Midway through the second half, it's Russia 24, France 18. Lacrabert looking for the line. Just push in the back. There's got to be a 2-minute suspension, and the French fans were looking somewhat dejected. It started so well, they were closing the gap quickly, but the Russians have somewhat stemmed the tide here. That'll help their cause at least, though, as Marenikova gets a suspension, evens the odds. Penalty's been given as well. There's the foul, and a hefty shove in the back of Kamto as she goes to shoot. Change the keeper. Kalinina is back in again, facing Zadi, who scores. That's her 3rd penalty. And Trefilov is on the prowl again. Rokina back in goal for the Russians. Both teams short-handed now. French will have a brief 38-second or so power play when they get back to full strength again. Bobrovnikova has shifted over on the other side. Ilina coming around. The defense flattened. 2 French defenders going down. They're complaining that they were being held. And they may have had a case, actually. Aiglon's arm locked down. The referee is not seeing it as Ilina scores her 3rd goal of the game. French scored 10 goals in 16 minutes in this second half. It's a much improved performance, and that's another 2-minute suspension, shoved while she was shooting. And it's going to be Dmitrieva who's on her 2nd suspension. Only a free throw given, though, for the foul on Zadi. She looks somewhat upset with the decision. And it doesn't help that, of course, she's getting an earful from Trefilov as well. So back in comes Prouvancier on the right wing position. So Russia now playing 4 against France's 5. In a handful of seconds, though, France will have a double power play. Into the wing, big angle. That's more like it. Dembele gets her 3rd goal. Little hand through by Lacrabert, cuts out the left back.
Goal France, goal by number 17,
So 3rd goal by Dembele makes it 25-20 as Russia put Anna Sedoikina back in goal again. Bobrovnikova goes around. They're 2 short-handed, 4 against 6. Happy to take the free throw. It runs the clock down. She'll take her time. Bobrovnikova, the 28-year-old from Rostov-Don, the Russian champions. She's waiting wide now on this side here. Bliznova. Passive play's been called for a while now. Bobrovnikova! 3 defenders stood back. Trefilov still not quite managing a smile. That was a good effort by the left back. So they've got one of their players back, Russia. And they lead 26-20 with just 12 minutes remaining. Cabert gets so much height, but she's hesitant on the shots. Lovely little pass through. Finished off by Kamto. But look at the nice pass into her. First goal of the game for Kamto. 32-year-old who's played 214 times for France, 401 goals. This new Russian play with less of the big guns at the back and more mobility, and that's a 2-minute suspension for Zadi. Caught a high, Bobrovnikova, did she? Difficult to see, but she was reaching across on the shirt, and the referee's not having much doubt about that as she goes up to Alison Pinault, who's started off badly and was taken off, and it's a team timeout for Russia.
Между вторым и третьим. А ты в центре, кто на левом полусреднем?
Я попёр.
Так, тогда...
Я могу на край, кстати. Давайте я и широко. Я зашел, все нормально. Я прям вот так поставлю.
Стой, ничего, так руки положи, блядь, одно здесь держи, понял? Не трожь. Не получилось, еще раз тяните. Тяните, тяните, немножко осталось.
Давай, давай! До конца играем, все вместе, на победу!
On a trouvé Nina, on va trouver les ailiers. Allez, allez, ça croise.
Well, for those of you who may have seen Yevgeny Trefilov coaching in the past, you don't know how much effort he's making there to stay calm in that team timeout while the French look on rather forlorn from the stands. Trefilov really very measured, very quiet, so much so in fact that they're all chatting over the top of him and he was still staying calm. Mind you, he's got a 5-goal lead. He did lose his composure a little bit in the quarter-final against Poland, reverted to type, but it works. I think the Russian players like the new style, Trefilov, with the calmer team timeouts. They have a 5-goal lead, and now they have the extra player. Big gap on the wing, and beats Glosser, who's been put back in goal again. Akopyan's 4th goal. Like for a 22-year-old Mets keeper, he's made 4 saves from 19, a 21% save rate. Leno, who's gone off, 4 saves as well from 16, 25%, both very low. Top keepers in this competition will be 42, 43% save rate. Neither team reaching those heights, I'm afraid, in the competition. Although Sedokina here is on 32%, which is actually her average in the competition. La Cabert, that's very, very nicely done. Well, after the earlier spin shot there, she does well to come around, switches hand in midair, and lobs Sedokina. So with 10 minutes remaining, France trail by 5. Bobrovnikova back across again. Yakireva into the wing. Well, Edwige going in almost unnecessarily hard and bowls over Akopyan, who's playing on the wing at the moment for Russia. Has a quiet word, the Korean referee. Saved by Glosser, her 5th of the game. France break. We just haven't seen these breaks in the game at all so far. Dummy pass back again, and instead Dembele goes all the way through it. It started from Glosser, the goalkeeper, with a great save at this end, and the quick breakout by France. There was a little moment of hesitation, stopped the defender and went through. Good play by the French captain. Another one who plays for Vardar in Macedonia, along with goalkeeper Lino. And of course against Cherno Ivanenko and Khmurova, Russian players here today. Attacking foul. Suddenly the French are having a good spell, but have they left it too late? And Trefilov is starting to get a little bit more anxious. Cut back inside again. Alison Pinault has come back on after a long break. That's too high. That was too high before it even left her hand, actually, for Prouvancier. Like there for the 21-year-old. And Porte thinking, well, in my day on the wing, I'd have opened up the angle a little bit more for that one. So in the centre, Ilina, who's worked so hard throughout this game. For the moment, Bobrovnikova having a bit of a break. Solid defence by France again. Pinault getting in, then Aiglon. Solid defending. Passive play now being called against the Russians. Launched a shot, it comes off a defender and is picked up, the loose ball. Away goes Nyombla. defending inside the area, took it end to end. She stole it, went all the way back. Came off a block. She took the ball all the way from the wing, and Akopyan barging into her shooting arm as well. So, Sedoikina watches Zadi approach. Scored 3 penalties so far. Scores another. And France, their closest they've been in the game. 3 behind now with that top left corner. Bench are happy as well. Good late surge by France. For Russia, well, they really want to win this match because it'll put them beyond any doubt into the Olympic qualification tournament. They have to win their place in that tournament here, these World Championships. France could be salvaged, as I said earlier, through the complicated system and their finishing place in the European Championships. Power play again, arm taken. And frustration for Nyombla, who's on 2 2-minute suspensions already. She goes across, slapped her in the face. And it's a 2-minute suspension, so it's the end of the game then for the 25-year-old from Fleury, who gets a red card on the back of that 3rd 2-minute suspension. Her game is over. Good news is she can get to the showers before everybody else does. So off she goes. She's still frustrated. She did catch the player in the face as she went through. She's probably arguing it's accidental. She has to leave the bench. She'll go and sit behind. Meanwhile, Vyakireva stays focused against Glossaire. And scores. And she's trying to find the space. It's not too difficult. Quite a few empty seats around there. There it is again. And Glossaire spread herself as much as she could, but couldn't stop that one. So steady the ship now. 4-goal lead again for Russia in the closing stages here. France short-handed once more. They can't afford to sit back, though. Pinot, who's had a lackluster game here. Only been used for 15 minutes in the entire match. Puts it wide, I'm afraid. Sums up her game. 1 goal from 6 attempts now for the French former World Player of the Year. And the Russian players seem happy enough. Every French miss puts more pressure on them as we approach the last 5 minutes of the match. France still short-handed for another minute. Sen on the line. Bliznova, industrious throughout this match. Hands off. Quick switch back, and the French defending very physically now. Running the clock down bit by bit. Sen, take it from the right place, they say. It's their time. They've got the power play, Russia. Akopyan, well blocked again. Bliznova gets the rebound, though. And luck falls their way, and almost a smile by Trefilov. Let's not push it, though. There was the block, and it just won't go France's way. Pinot reacting late to the rebound. And a 5-goal lead restored, and we are inside the last 5 minutes now. France short-handed for another 15 seconds. Can go around the outside. Good save. Oh, and the rebound comes out comfortably to Camto, who misses the goal completely in a let-off for Sedoikina. Good save there. And what was she thinking? The goalkeeper moving across had to go the other way, and Camto instead tempted to go wide. Well, Russia have probably done enough now. The damage all done in the first half. Superb defending, wonderful fast-paced attacking. France have defended superbly well in the second half, but every now and again lapse, start to lose their way, and the Russians get back in again. All credit to them. The Russians may be having more of a sense of occasion here, and the team timeout called by Yevgeny Trefilov. And let's see if he can keep his calm demeanor as he calls them around.
Катюха станет напротив тебя, поближе, прям вплотную, чтобы там два человечка собрать. Кать,
А я дальше?
ты покажи вот так, Катюхе, раз, саму туда, чтобы ты спрячь. Нет, да, ты не под шаг можешь стрелять, поняла? Я обыграл. Договорились? И последний, еще раз прошу вас. Тяните до последнего, пока сука руку не поднимет.
Давай, девочка.
Давай, девочка! Конца, все вместе, на победу! Эй!
Рука поднята.
On essaie de monter les ballons. Hein. Allez.
Glosser and her teammates not looking too happy, but at least the scoreline looking somewhat respectable. Sidoikina, 8 saves, a 31% save rate. But for the French fans, I'm afraid, and the technical support team, not a happy day. They've just been too erratic, the French, up and down, but the first half, one to forget. Oh, dearie me. Dmitrieva launches that one a long way out. Certainly the video analysis of the first half won't be for the faint-hearted, and that's another good save. Sidoikina of Blachabert. Should have been a goal, but she came out quickly, the goalkeeper from Rostov-Don. Shut her out. 9 saves. Three and a half minutes remaining. Russia with a comfortable 5-goal lead. They've done enough. The winner of this match will play the winner of the next placement game between Montenegro and Denmark, the host nation. The 5th place playoff for the honour as much as anything else, but the bottom place playoff will have a bit of an edge to it, because if Norway win the competition, then the 8th place team at this championship may not qualify for the Olympic qualification tournaments, as Bliznova scores her second with a low shot round the defender, very nicely done, beats Zadi and Glosser at the back. 2.5 minutes to go. Well, France have controlled this second half for long spells, but unfortunately, the bits where they've gone off the boil have allowed the... Oh! There, and that's a worry. Pinot skids, and the advertising boards or signage on the floor sometimes just has slightly different adhesion. Well, in fact, she put her foot down on the side, and is that a hyperextension on the left leg, I think she was holding, right up at the top. She's had so many injury problems, Pinot. We talked earlier about the ruptured cruciate ligament in 2011. The semi-final against Denmark, an anxious look by Alain Porte. And I think he knows deep down there's no point risking her anyway. The game is lost. Take her off and hope that she can be fit again on Sunday for the 7th place playoff. Walking rather gingerly. With a bit of luck, it's just a little hyperextension from the slide. She would have been warm enough with a bit of luck that it won't have done too much harm, but we'll hope so for her sake. She's had her real injury history, Pinot. So play will resume. And a team timeout called almost straight away by Alain Porte, as she does look in some discomfort, Pinot. We'll let you listen in.
Il ne faut pas faire n'importe quoi, hein. Il ne faut pas se lancer dans n'importe quoi. Alors on va essayer de construire une paire d'attaque. On va faire un Rouen de ce côté. Ok?
De droite?
Ouais, de ton côté. Ensuite, si ça ne marche pas, on le refera de l'autre côté. Le temps qu'Alice elle rentre un petit peu dans le match, et prends le tir, Alice. Et Alex, c'est pareil, prends
Parce
le
que là,
tir.
le numéro 2, elle descend pas, donc moi je vais attaquer fort intérieur, et au pire, toi tu reviens croiser derrière. Tu vois? Parce qu'elle va me suivre.
Ouais, vous prenez le tir. Hein, on a su un bon repli. On monte les ballons. Si vous voulez, on peut essayer Rostov. Changer. Allez, c'est parti.
On fait quoi alors? Allez, meuf, allez.
Some of these wonderful goals we've had in the game there. That low shot by Bliznova. That was class. So, play about to resume after the team timeout. Pinot, they're not treating her anymore. She's just resting, and they'll hope to get her fit for Sunday for their final match of the championship. Clips the bar by Zadi. And even Pinot looks frustrated, as if she hasn't got enough to worry about. Ice pack. the top of the thigh. Shot efficiency, 61% Russia. It's been there or thereabouts the whole game. France, 53. Well, it's improved dramatically in the second half, but hasn't risen much above 53. The Russians running the clock down. We're well inside the last 2 minutes. Elina Dmitrieva, oof, very high by Aiglon, little dummy, hand off, and that's an attacking foul. France have the ball, it's quickly taken. Goes out to Dembele. Dembele tries to go all the way, she's got to bring it back. French captain, 29-year-old, is playing her 5th World Championship. Played over 200 games for France. Actually played club handball in Denmark for Randers for a while, Dembele. Oh, Lacabert, well, that's her at her best when she lets rip. And Trifilov, a bit annoyed with that. It won't change the end result, though. 83 kilometers an hour on the inside post. We're inside the last minute of the game, and Russia will be relieved to have won this and make sure that of their place in the Olympic qualification tournament. Rio still alive, at least for the Russians. Elina, goal number 4 for her, the 24-year-old from Rostov-Don, makes up for her miserable quarter-final against Poland, where she scored 3 from 10. 4 from 7 here today. 6-goal lead, and one last attack maybe for France. Who brought on Chloé Buleux from the right-wing position coming out. Zadi kind of sums up her game as well, I think. 6 from 10. And there it is. And so Russia, with no pomp or circumstance, win the match 31-25 against France. They'll play off for the 5th place, but more importantly, they are in the Olympic qualification tournament for sure. France have to wait and make sure they get the result against the loser of Montenegro against Denmark, which is the next match up. Well, the Russians did all the damage in the first half.